This is the price of a World Cup final ticket. $11,000. 4 years ago, the price was about 1600 USD for the most expensive finals ticket. Now it's nearly 7 times the price. Why? It's the same cup, same trophy. What changed? The players didn't get much better. The stadiums aren't better. What's the kicker? This is one of the most important ideas in economics. Once you see it, you spot it everywhere. So you've actually seen this before. It's the reason why plane tickets cost higher when you book them closer to the deadline. It's the reason why Ubers charge more when it rains. It's the reason why hotels during New Year's Eve are more expensive. The price isn't fixed. It moves depending on how much the people want the thing right now. Normally, price comes in when two forces meet. How much of the product exists and how badly people want it right now. Supply and demand. Now think about the World Cup final. The supply is fixed. You can't increase the number of seats in a stadium. But the match itself is huge. The tournament's held every once in 4 years, and then there are billions of people who come together to watch it. So economists have a word for this. The demand here is inelastic, meaning no matter how expensive the tickets are, people are going to stretch, borrow, and pay for it for whatever means possible, because there is no substitute. When demand doesn't drop as the price climbs, the companies just have a green light. Keep on increasing the price. It's not going to change anything anyway. That is what FIFA is doing right now. Here's the detail which got so many people furious. FIFA and the USA promised that a finals ticket would be charged around $1550. But the actual prices are around 7 times that. FIFA's defense? They changed dynamic pricing into something called variable pricing. Sure, they added in a bunch of tickets called supporters tickets, which are $60 a piece. But then that was just a bad rounding figure of a few hundred, which they disguised as justice. Fans are so upset with this that in cities like New York, New Jersey, and Toronto, there have been investigations filed in the pricing. Just think about that for a second. Ticket prices led to a legal probe. To understand why FIFA could get away with this, we need to understand one significant term: monopoly. What does this word mean? Well, when a company basically controls the entire market, led to prices, demand, etc., you are on their terms when it comes to buying a ticket. They can charge as much as they want and people won't bat an eye. Now, remember that I said how airplanes also use dynamic pricing and how it can actually make tickets cheaper. Well, here's an example. Say there's a flight from Delhi to Dubai. Airplane A charges a higher price, while airplane B charges a lower one. What do most people choose? Airplane B, right? So here dynamic pricing basically puts a leash on companies and drags them back to honest prices. But this doesn't apply in a monopoly situation. But who else sells World Cup tickets at that price? There is no FIFA B, right? Nobody else can sell World Cup tickets at a cheaper price. So when there's only one company dictating everything, dynamic pricing doesn't become a discount. It becomes a money vacuum. This basically isn't me ranting. A Nobel Prize winner called Jean Tirole described this in detail. And he basically said that when one company controls everything, prices, competition, all of that just disappears. That's FIFA to a T. They own the market, they own the ticketing, and they own every level of it. That's basically what Tirole told us. When there's nobody pushing back, the company is able to do whatever it wants. So this raises a bigger question. FIFA is making billions of dollars in profit. So the cities which actually host the World Cup must be making a bunch of profit too, right? Right? Here's a part that nobody talks about. Hosting World Cups, the cities themselves don't actually have profit. It's actually the other way around. They have significant losses instead. Research from the University of Toronto shows that out of the last 14 World Cup cities, 12 of them have recorded a loss, not a profit. How is this possible with billions of dollars just flying around? Well, FIFA keeps in all of the central profit. It ranges from ticket prices to broadcasting rights, etc., while the cities are just left with loss. Security detail, planning, building the stadiums themselves, accommodation, etc. All of that loss goes to the city itself. And this is where a concept that you use every single day comes in: opportunity cost. Here, the money which is being spent on security detail and etc. could have been spent on education, health, and other such resources. So every dollar which is put into this could have been spent here and actually benefited the city. But Tanuj, what about the tourists spending the money? Good instinct, but economists use two major holes to put a dent in that idea. One is the substitution effect. The locals who come in just spend their regular money on drinks, food, etc. It is just normal money coming in, except with a jersey on. 2. Crowding out. Regular tourists are unenthusiastic about going to these cities and these kind of times. The rushes, the parades, and all the hassle around the city makes them a bit hesitant to arrive. So the fans substitute the tourists here. There is no extra money which comes in. Here's where the numbers go wrong. That's why huge deadlines such as $40 billion in global economy boost makes economists roll their eyes. People think that every fan spends $1,000, but then that's not true. So let's put it to a close. $11,000 per ticket for a final. FIFA takes in all the profit while the cities themselves have to eat up the losses. One question: follow the money. Where is all of the money going? Well, directly to FIFA, not to the city, not to the people, and not to the government. So now you know what a monopoly is and how FIFA is using it to take advantage of the beautiful game and all of its great fans. If you like videos like this, we'll catch you in the next one. Stay wiser.